Hey everyone! Welcome back to my channel! In today's video, I'll be guiding you through the process of crocheting an adorable elephant amigurumi. This crochet pattern isn't overly complex. The trickiest bit is figuring out where to insert the crochet hook, as the stitches can be a bit tough to spot with the coral fleece yarn. This tutorial is not intended for absolute beginners. I recommend that crochet enthusiasts crochet this pattern using this fluffy yarn. If you're new to crochet, I suggest starting with the magic ring. It becomes considerably easier once you've mastered the technique of crocheting a magic ring. For this particular pattern, I'm utilizing the following materials. I've opted for coral fleece yarn to crochet it, and the white color of the yarn imparts a truly warm and charming appearance. Regarding the crochet hook, I'm using a 3.5mm one. In addition to that, I also require a darning needle and some stitch markers. If you're keen on obtaining a kit that contains all the precise materials I'm using in this video, I've included a link in the description down below. Let's commence crocheting the leg of the elephant. Take hold of the fluffy yarn and wind it around your pinky finger, index finger, and middle finger. Observe the formation of the X-shaped section here. Grasp the midpoint of the X section using your middle finger and thumb. Next, we grip the crochet hook in a manner similar to holding a knife. Alternatively, hold the hook in the way one would hold a pencil. I prefer to hold it in the manner of gripping a knife. Insert the hook into the loop on the middle finger. Grab the working yarn and pull it through that loop. After that, do a yarn over and then pull the yarn through the loop on the hook to create a chain stitch. Insert the hook into the loops on the middle finger. Grasp the working yarn and draw it through those loops. Subsequently, yarn over and then pull the yarn through the two loops on the hook to make a single crochet. Since this is the very first stitch, we'll put a stitch marker on it. It's difficult to distinguish the texture of the stitch. I'll simply insert the stitch marker into the piece at random. And we continue to work single crochets. A total of 6 single crochets are needed for the magic ring. The most difficult part is that it's hard to see the crochet stitches and also difficult to count their number. Since it's difficult to count the number of stitches after completion, I suggest you count them while crocheting. Place the stitch marker on the last stitch. As it's hard to identify the specific stitch clearly, I simply hook the marker into the stitch in a random manner. Pull the tail end taut to form the magic ring. Re-grab the working yarn and we'll do a slip stitch to connect. First, remove the stitch marker. Insert the hook into the first stitch. It's hard to tell the texture of the stitch. I'll just insert the hook into the place where the stitch marker was inserted. There's no need to worry about deviation as it won't affect the final result. Hold the working yarn and pull it through the loops. Now there are 2 loops on the hook. Then, pull the first loop through the second loop to create the slip stitch. And this is what it looks like. It's just a fluffy piece where the stitches are indistinguishable. I'm going to make a chain stitch. Yarn over and pull the working yarn through onto the hook. Then we insert the hook into the place where we made the slip stitch to work a single crochet. Insert the hook into the first stitch. The first stitch is the one where we made the slip stitch. Grasp the working yarn and pull it through the loops. Then yarn over and pull the yarn through the 2 loops on the hook to make a single crochet. It's difficult to distinguish the texture of the stitch. I'll simply insert the stitch marker into the piece at random. We'll work another single crochet into the same stitch to create the increase. For round 2, we'll make a total of 6 increases. Place the stitch marker on the last stitch. As it's hard to identify the specific stitch clearly, I simply hook the marker into the stitch in a random manner. We are going to make slip stitch. And then we make a chain stitch. For round 3, I will perform 5 single crochets in sequence, followed by 1 increase, and replicate this set 1 more time. Put the stitch marker on the first stitch. We've completed 5 single crochets and 1 increase. Do this 1 more time. Place the stitch marker on the last stitch. We have a total of 14 stitches in round 3. We are going to make slip stitch. and then we make a chain stitch. For round 4, I'll be working 14 single crochets with 1 single crochet in each stitch. Put the stitch marker on the first stitch. Place the stitch marker on the last stitch. For round 5, we'll do the same as in round 4. That is, we'll work 1 single crochet into each stitch, making a total of 14 single crochets. Put the stitch marker on the first stitch. Place the stitch marker on the last stitch. We make a chain stitch at the end. Now that we've completed crocheting one leg, I'm going to repeat the instructions from row 1 to row 5 to make the other leg. For the crochet of the second leg, there is no need to cut the yarn. We can simply continue with the crocheting process. Now that the other leg has been crocheted, I'm going to crochet the 2 legs together. Make 2 chain stitches and then work 14 single crochet stitches, 1 in each stitch, onto the other leg. Put the stitch marker on the first stitch. Tuck the yarn tail into the crocheted piece. We make 2 single crochet stitches into the chain stitches we've just created. and then proceed to the other leg, making 1 single crochet in each stitch for a total of 14 single crochet stitches. Then, we crochet 1 single crochet into each of the other side of the chain stitches, totaling 2 single crochets. Place the stitch marker on the last stitch.